Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Power Talk Show powered by Business Talks Weekly. Our guest today has a professional track record of building and designing ERP and financial systems, which he has taken forward to build his own financial system. CEO and founder Sameer Gulati of Ordway. Sameer, welcome to the Power Talk Show.
Thank you, Navin. Appreciate your having me.
It's our pleasure, Samir. Samir, before we begin our conversation, can you tell us a bit about your background and what led to the creation of Ordway?
Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about my journey because it has definitely shaped our thinking on what we are doing today and so forth. Just to start off, I have been involved with Office of the CFO products for the last 25 plus years. I've had the privilege to take a few products to market that have now become large billion-dollar companies. Some of them are Intacct. I was a very early founding employee at Intacct, and then Intacct, as you may know, is now part of Sage mid-market ERP systems, large player in the space. And similar to Intacct, I was very early at Zuora, a subscription management solution. The first 10 employees, and Zuora is now a large player. In their own right. And I also was fortunate enough to join Workday when Workday was a tiny little startup based in Walnut Creek, California. And I was part of the team that took few of their products to market, APAR, GL, etc., and so forth. So yeah, certainly been involved in the office of the CFO. Billing has certainly been a passion. We and what is Ordway? Let me just give a brief description, and I'll work backwards from there. Ordway today is a sales to finance automation framework. More specifically, it's a billing and revenue automation framework, again targeted towards the office of the CFO. The pain point that we are solving is that the world of sales and the world of finance in general remains manual, remains inefficient. Billing is very hard, revenue recognition is really hard. Our goal is how can we automate this entire process end to end and so forth. And billing has always been a passion of mine. I've seen a few incarnations of billing over my career. We tried to build a homegrown billing system at Intacct, big disaster. Zuora was a subscription management platform we took to market. It was kind of built in a very rigid box like manner. And this is the fundamental problem that I see with software, that people build solutions as kludgy boxes. If you fit in those, don't get me wrong, Zuora is a great company, but if you fit in the box, it works for you, but nobody fits in the box forever. Your use cases begin to evolve and the box begins to fall apart. And this is more so evident in the world of order to cash, because every company, especially in the world of B2B, every company does billing in a different way. Every company has unique pricing plans, unique configurations, and so forth. That's where the box mindset never really works. So one size fits all doesn't quite work. You need to have a more platform style mindset where how can we take a company's process and adapt in our software so that their ever changing pricing needs, ever changing sales to finance needs, whether it's recurring SaaS, whether it's usage based billing, some creative pricing models, whether it's a services company which is doing some form of milestone based billing or rev rec. This is a huge pain point for the finance departments. And this is how our journey has transformed over the years and was a big inspiration on starting Ordway to solve this pain point. And I think over the last 7 years, we have done that a few hundred times over. And I'm pretty excited about where we have come based on early.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samir, for sharing that journey with us. Samir, the tech SaaS platform or subscription based model is such a cluttered market right now. And we already have many billing models. How do you differentiate from the other platforms? Can you give me 3 or 5 pointers? How is Ordway different?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we talk about subscription billing, the thing that comes to mind are consumer billing models, like you're paying for Netflix or you're paying for some other personal subscription service, which is on the simpler side, right? Like you have Netflix plans, which are like $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month. It's on the simpler side. But when you come to B2B billing, right? Like the SaaS and subscription may seem like crowded, but it's a huge market. But if you really look at how companies do billing, yes, again, if you do a simple SaaS subscription. It's another form of $5, $10, or $15. It could be $50,000 or $100,000 over the course of a year. But no B2B company remains simple when it comes to billing as they scale. Their challenges and their complexities only magnify as the company scales, right? So I think the you're right. There is a lot of noise for companies who are trying to solve the $5, $10 a month kind of billing, and frankly, that is not our core point. We can do that too. Our core strength really is how do we go into businesses and really automate everything post sale, where you take a typical, I'll give you an example, like you in the world of AI companies nowadays, which are taking their pricing models to market, they are doing usage based billing, right? There are all forms of usage based billing where either you pay as you go, either it's a subscription, either you prepay certain number of credits and you draw it down like Amazon compute units. And this is complex. And for more often than not, when we talk to finance teams, they are always struggling at the end of the month. And our philosophy has always been sales knew at the time of structuring the deal, whether it's a 3-year deal or a 5-year deal, or whether it is a month to month deal, sales knew how this life cycle of the contract would be executed, then why should finance struggle month after month and so forth? Our mission has always been the moment that a sales rep can be a human, a sales rep can be a website where people come to sign up for the services, but the moment this metaphorical sales rep hits closed one on an opportunity, the rest of the life cycle should be automated from when to invoice, how much to invoice, how to capture usage, how to process payments, late payment workflows, revenue recognition, SaaS metrics. So it's a broad spectrum, right? So that's where I think I gave more than 3 to 5 points over here, Naveen, but the fundamental point I'm trying to make is that there is no one size fits all. And the billing noise that you're talking about is really on the simpler case. When as we scale, the noise completely begins to die down, and that's where we differentiate. Yeah. We at the moment are doing all implementations in house. We have a team of implementation specialists that work with the client. And our fundamental goal is to try and put ourselves in the shoes of the customers. And yeah, eventually a time will come where we will start signing up more implementation partners, and help us scale faster and implement faster and go to market in a more broader spectrum. But at the moment, we have kept it in house. And, that has been good for the company until this particular point because we learn a lot about our customers by really trying to put ourselves in their shoes, right? Like, how do we make implementation smooth? How do we make this process go well? And a smooth implementation is a sign of success for customer happiness for the next.
Wow. And are you targeting specific segment of industry and size, or are you open to all sizes and all industry verticals?
Yeah. So our sweet spot is tech-enabled services. So I think we at the moment target companies between 10 to 200 million. Now I know it's a broad spectrum, and we do have some customers who are below 10 million, and some customers above 200 million. But that is definitely our focus at the moment. And we are not claiming to be able to solve every problem in the world, but I think our focus certainly is recurring revenue and all the challenges that come with recurring revenue management and how do we automate that recurring revenue world. And most of our customers end up being tech companies, software companies, SaaS companies, usage-based billing AI companies. So long and short of it is tech-enabled service.
Wow. Samir, you mentioned about AI earlier and as well now as well. So what's your take on AI platforms, and what kind of LLM models are you currently using and providing features to your end clients?
Yeah, absolutely. I think AI certainly offers a lot of promise. But let's step back. What is AI trying to do, right? At the end of the day, the means to the end is automation. We certainly have been doing automation. It's not just us. Software has been trying to do automation for years in terms of workflow, right? Like a typical software is just an algorithm, which is more like if this, do that, if then else kind of a framework, right? So we certainly have powered automation through software for years. Now, AI just takes it to the next level, right? Where what is the goal of automation? The goal of automation at the end of the day is measuring human productivity and improvements in human productivity to get the job done faster. Now AI can do things that humans or software traditionally have been limited to. Like one aspect is how do you make sense of large amounts of data and analyze that data and come up with actionable items from that large amounts of data. This is what you are probably referring to with LLMs and how can we leverage LLMs. So Ordway is certainly opening up its data to existing LLM models and how can we use those LLM models to, at the end of the day, empower our users to get more out of the system. Now, there are a few flavors of AI. One is we all know about generative AI framework on how can you use AI to create data faster. Like you don't have to go the old fashioned way of entering data by entering one field at a time, right? Like could you just give AI a natural language prompt? Hey, create me a contract for 12 months that for product A, B, and C that recurs every quarter, right? Like it, could you just give a natural language prompt? So this is an example of an opportunity how AI can make actions faster. But where LLMs come into play is also how do you analyze that data back, where you have so much of data in the system with finance, with all your contract, all your customers, revenue. Customers are leveraging AI to say like, okay, what are my top five highest customers or what are my top five highest risk customers? Where do I need to focus my energy on? So this is an example of how we are leveraging the world of LLMs out there to give more control to our users to get their not only get their job done faster in a more automated way, but more effectively, where they're making decisions, strategic decisions based on the analysis these LLMs are able to. I think, firstly, you got to be made of a different skin to be an entrepreneur because challenges are plenty, right? No matter how it might seem to the outside world, it's never a straight, smooth ride. There's always going to be bumps, and you just have to. I think the journey of entrepreneur is about problem solving, and you see a problem, you solve it, you move forward, right? Like, and how do you kind of learn from those problems and scale from there? Absolutely, an entrepreneur has to be made of a different skin. I think Elon Musk said it once too about the kind of metal entrepreneurs have to be made too. But anyway, coming back to your question, I think it's all about staying power. How do you build a company that is truly have a product market fit? And product market fit is about your solution is able to solve problems, real world problems out there, and how do you scale it, right? So it's a journey about finding a problem, creating a solution for the problem, and how differentiated that solution is and how do you scale from there and so forth, right? So it is definitely a journey in itself, but one fundamental bullet point, if I have to summarize this, is you have to think about staying power, right? Like yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs just want to go big overnight, and sometimes it works, but many times it does not work. So how do you pace yourself on showing strength of staying power at the end of the day. And I think that is an important aspect of it.
Absolutely.
And capacity to overcome this is absolutely needed.
Absolutely. 100%. Samir, what has been your biggest challenge to scale Ordway so far?
Yeah, I think challenges are plenty for sure. Like, but the rewards are there too. I think we are in the business of helping our clients achieve a 0-day close, right? Like at the end of the day, this has been our mission. And it's not an easy problem to crack, but I think we have done that in many aspects. But there is a lot of work that still needs to be done. The buzz around AI is certainly helping the message that now you can really leverage automation and use more of the automated processes to try and get more and more of the 0-day close, right? So I think like every company in the world, our focus really is to hire the best people. We are only as good as the employees we hire, create the best product, take care of our customers, solve the problems for our customers, make sure the customers are always happy and we're listening to them and so forth. And it's very easy, like to like even if you take your foot off the pedal slightly, you can begin to see cracks, and that's the goal where you should always stay focused and keep listening to employees, customers, the market, and keep adapting to so forth. So yeah, I think it's a journey. Every company faces challenges on an everyday basis, but our goal always is keep overcoming those challenges, keep moving forward, keep taking our customers, and focus on the long-term goals, not on the short-term. Short-term goals can distract you, but stay focused on the long term.
That's interesting. So, as you mentioned, long term goals, what's your vision for the next 5 years?
Yeah, I think to be candid, it's just repeating more of the same. We continue to scale. We have large companies, many of them publicly traded now using our platform. And we do offer a very mission critical service. Billing and revenue management is so core to a company's operation. And a few years ago, when we were a young startup, talking about challenges, this is also a challenge of being in startup. How do you position yourself and offer a mission critical service to a company that's doing 100 million in revenue, 200 million in revenue, right? Because you have to show staying power for them to trust you that your software can not only solve their problem, but as a company, you have staying power and their investment is worth it and so forth. I think we have certainly overcome that. We have built a good brand over the last many years. And now the momentum is just accelerating for us, trying to get these larger players to trust us for our service and our company and our solution and so forth. So I think the goal for the next 5 years is just to double down and amplify on this momentum and create a great company over here.
That's wonderful. All the very best, Sameer. One final question to you, Sameer. Like, you have such a long tenure journey in tech enabled business. What has been your biggest lesson that you have implemented that learning in Ordway?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I alluded a little bit to it about staying power, endurance. This is a long game, so you have to be patient. Good things do come to those who wait. And sometimes when things are not working your way, it's easy to get frustrated. But this is definitely the biggest lesson is patience is key. Keep doing the right thing, and the results will speak for themselves over the long haul.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sameer. Thank you so much for joining our channel, a podcast today. It was a wonderful conversation.
Thank you for having me, Navin. It was great connecting and chatting with you over here.